Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ivy Muftiana Bila Farida from Group 10, my team Zuama Sakadinaya and Noni Nur Hasanah. The chapter 61 until 66. Okay, the role of related literature in qualitative research. Qualitative research are used not to rush look into conduction their study. The search for related literature should be completed before the actual conduction of the study begin in order to provide a context and background that support the conduct of the study. These literature reviews that serve several important functions. The one, knowledge of related research enable investigation to delve to the frontier of their field. To use an analogy and explore McDesai, we know that beyond this river there are plains for 200 million west and beyond two plains and right of mountain. But we do know what lies beyond two mountains. And two, a thorough view of related theory and research enable research to place their question and perspective. You should determine whether you and viewers are likely and to knowledge in meaningful way. Knowledge in any given area consists of the accumulated outcome of numerous studies that journals of research have conducted and of the theory of the interest in knowledge and to explain the observed phenomena. The three review related literature help research to limit their research question and to clarify and define the concept of the study. The fourth, through study-related research investigation learned with a methodology have proven useful and with some less promise. The investigation developed increasing sophistication after digging through the layers of research that the related literature representing as you delve on your topic. You soon see that the quality of the research varies richly. The four through related research involves unitional replication of previous study. Frequently, research develops a working idea only to discover that a very similar study has already been made. The study of related literature places research in a better position to interest to significance of the own result. The role of related literature in qualitative and mixed method research. Affecting location of related literature. The one scanning and abstracting the database. Scanning and database review are vital for location primary scores in your file. This publication subscribe to professional journal in a given discipline. Their staff then identification the key firm for each article, index them, and typical provides an abstract for each article. Database that combine several of these indexing and abstracting predicals are very useful because you can ask for your key term of interest and the database will identify the journal article by journal data volume number and back there include your key term. The next ERIC or Educational Resource Information Center. There are several reasons for beginning with the ERIC database. The one, ERIC index and abstract more education related primary course than any other database. The two includes useful primary courses that were never published. The three, the ERIC system, formerly product and hard copy or print practical of its material in result in education, adjunctive education in index to journal in education. Using the ERIC system is a general rule. The following steps are component of useful ERIC research. The one, determine the keywords description under which article relates to your study may be listed. This keyword the typical in school, the population, and the variable you have identification in your problem statement. The last, since the ERIC system only rejection descript from the one this source, you will need to find with your keywords and use and description. The using ERIC description and Bloom login, perform the search and copy on save the and write in French given for any title that's my useful. This production simplifies the text on finding the original article. The five, write the abstract first. The abstract lets you to believe the entire document will be of other. You can download and enter document if the head and the prefix it is go to your library and seek out the article. The six search our article in their journal and you want institute on talk interlibrary learn or ask a library about the possible of obtaining the article online there through your library or through the document course. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Noni Nurtasana, NIM 196121157. I want to explain about page 66 until 70. Start. Other education focus periodical index. There are many other periodical index in the file of education that are useful for locating up-to-date information on research, as well as contemporary opinion. Some of the standard index in the file is 1. Education Index, which has been published regularly since 1929. This index lists articles in periodical yearbooks, bulletins, proceedings, and monographic series. Education Index is the best source for locating journal articles published prior to the establishment of ERIC. A disadvantage of Education Index is that it does not include abstract. 2. Exceptional Child Education Research, or ECER, is a quarterly publication that contains abstracts of sorts in special and gift education. It uses the same thesaurus, indexing, and abstracting rules that ERIC does, and there is considerable overlap with sorts indexed by ERIC and ESER. 3. The Physical Education Index provides a comprehensive database of all aspects of physical education. 4. Child Development Abstract and Bibliograph provide the author and subject approach to the area of infancy, clinical medicine, and public health, counseling and development, comparative and experimental psychology. 5. Educational Administration Abstract provide an author and subject approach to specials journal in the field of education administration. High education abstract in a complication of abstract from journal, conference, proceeding, and research report relating to the college student and student service. Topic covered include counseling and housing, financial aid, and testing and measure. Other useful database. ERIC is more useful to educators than CINFO. CINFO is a database with nearly 2 million records covering 2,000 journals, in addition to book and book chapter. The material conferred in the database is related to psychology, education, business, economy, linguistics, social work, healthcare, and many others. The article is a subject of CINFO that overfull text for some of the journal reference through CINFO. Information about this database is available at www.pcinfo.com. Citation Indexes. 1. The short index in an alphabetical list of all authors published the journal covered by SSTI during the year. 2. The citation index presents an alphabet list of the first author all work cited in the article included in the short index. Follow the year, journal, volume, and first page for each for that author article. 3. In the per-to-term subject index takes every significant word and pairs it with every other significant word in each title. Each word in the title is then listed and primary term combined with each to the other terms as conterms. 4. The point with the per-term subject index. The corporate address index is an alphabetic listing of organizations which authors publish during the year are obligated. Books in print. As you would expect, books in print index those books that are currently in print both by author and by title. It enables you not only to learn what books are and are not in print but also which books have new edition and which have added or dropped alter or changed published. And then test in print and mental measure yearbook. Test in print produced by Brewers Institute at the University of Nebraska. That's the same for commercially available tests. If you find a test that interests you in test in print, you are referring to the appropriate volume of mental measure yearbook MMY. For more information on the test or test purpose, test published, praise, test acronym, intended test population, administration times, publication dates, test author, and in-print status.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Yuama. Here I will continue this material. You in test in print, your reference to the operative volume of mental measurement yearbook for more information on the test purpose, test publisher, prints, test acronym, intended test population, administration times, publication date. If your library has neither the hard copy nor electronic MME, try getting it through interlibrary loan of other source. Statistical source. Statistical source, a base statistical source reference work, is an alphabetic guide to source of information on more than 20,000 subjects with 10,000 citation for more than 2,000 source, print and not print, in print and out of print, and domestic and international. It is a subject guide to data on various topics, including educational, for the unit tests and other nationals. In general, the data are reliable are source for many of the statistics are also given. 3 index to statistics published by the Washington-based Congressional. These 3 index are also available in CD-ROM and online. Since 1962, the Digest of Educational Statistics has covered the birth of U.S. educational from kindergarten through graduate school. This publication, including a selection of data from many sources, both government and private, and draw especially on the result of survey and activity carried out by the National Center for Educational Statistics. As not previously, the full text of the Digest and other important statistic publications are searchable through the NCS website. Government publication. The federal government, a major source of educational information, sponsor more research, conclusion more survey, and collect more statistics of a kind than any other organization in the United States. Department of Educational disseminates a vast number of publications, including research report, survey, administrative action, and program description. You can look at publication of State Department of Educational and other state agencies through the homepage of each state's Department of Education. Department of Educational website at www.gov and the National Center for Educational Statistics website at http://NCS. From the site, you can find link to report on research, policy paper, and the searchable tag of past and current population paper research. Search as the Digest of Educational Statistics, projection of educational statistics, and the conditional of education. The purpose of the Digest is to provide a compilation of statistic information covering by birth of educational from kindergarten through graduate school, projection of educational statistics to 2000 provide projection for key educational statistics. It's including statistics on enrollment, graduation, classroom teacher, and expenditures in elementary and secondary school, and interesting of higher education. The conditional of educational describe the current state tools and recent program of educational in the United States. The 1999 compendium featured an overall essay as 60 indicator in 5 major substantive areas of education. A great database. These are large database that combine single topic database, academic research primer. This database covers academic areas such as the social science, educational, the humanities, language and linguistic, computer science, art and literature, and engineering since 1975. Web of Knowledge. This database has including the Science and Social Science Citation Index since 1987. Google Scholar. Available at http://scholar.google.com. As of November 2005, Google Scholar is an online search engine that targets scholarly materials, such as private publication, books, chapter, and conference proceedings across many disciplines. With this database, you can identify relevant material throughout the world of scholarly research. World Cup. This online database index more than 35 million books, journal, music score, video recording, film, newspaper, maps, dissertation, manuscript, and more in 400 languages. The index includes all the holding of most academic library of size, large public library and special collection, and the National Library of France, Great Britain, Canada, and the US. Table 4.1 provides a summary of various databases with their respective web address. It is essential to learn how to do online searching for several reasons. The ERIC database, which including what was once in the periodic journal, now action only in electronic form. Researching saves time because it's in only second the computer can retrieve and print information, elementary hours of even days for manual research. Database frequently updated weekly or bi-weekly. Those are usually more up to date than private index. Computer searching. You can narrow your search by specifically parameters such as data type of public language of publication date alphabetically by author or by title. It does take time and effort to master the use of electrical database, but in academia today, it must be done. The different resources available at various libraries create complication. As to change in research within an individual library, you will probably need to accept 10 century of library to learn how to electrical database. There are many electrical to contact on website and find out what it would cost to do the research you need. The Internet. Since the Internet has been available to customers, the growth in Internet use and in the variety of uses, both legitimate and suspect, has been unprecedented. As reviewed in this chapter, there are a wide range of Internet sources for scholarly literature and text search, as well as a magnitude of other type of information. The Internet can help researchers access different databases of various types of material and subjects throughout the world. The old problem of not finding enough information has been replaced by the equally vexing problem of finding far too much information and needing to be able to determine the relevant quality of the information. Because there is a not real for internet material. They are not editors, fact-checker, or provider, and there is not actually way for the reader to determine the authority of the author as there is a traditional publishing. A huge amount of information exists on the internet, some erroneous, outdated, slanted, and even harmful, says ending in. Their criteria have no fixed research determined when the article he or she is looking at likely to be of high quality. However, when accessing research from web pages of formerly print-based journal the essentially in electrical form, or accessing the full text of article from a variety of sources using a database such as ERIC as a gateway to full text content. The criteria become less actually applied, even irrelevant. Authority is usually a state government, community college, of school district site, or organization. Although you cannot be assured of the quality of information on any kind of site. Educational and governmental sites usually contain authoritative information. Information provided by companies may be slanted to sell their production. In fact, it may be difficult to distinguish between an advertisement and a source of objectionable information. A usual approach is to arrange the study by topic or determine how each of the topic relate to your own study. Avoid the temptation to present the literature as a series of abstracts. Present the literature in such a way as to justifying your study by showing what is known and what remains to be investigated in the topic of concern. The hypothesis provides a framework for such organization. Like explore purpose and expedition, the research map out the known territory and point the way to the unknown territory to be explored. If you study including several facts or investigates more than a single hypothesis, the organization process is done separately for each hypothesis. It is as much inevitable that a number of the report you can carefully study and including in your notes will, on refreshing, prove only peripherally relate to be topic in nature is not described to including in a proposal every study encountered in the research through the literature. The research who fail to approach the task of assembling the related literature in a systematic manner from being begin can become very disorganized. Reading the most recent study in the field and then work backward through error almost an overtake of this approach in that you start with studies that have already incorporated the truth and finding of previous research. Earlier misunderstanding have been correlated and unprofitable approach have been identified. Another unfact is that the study including reference to other work and therefore there's due to source you might not otherwise encounter. Obviously, limit must be set to the process of gathering related research, make such the related literature service, but does not dominate your own work. Doing so can save much time that might be wasted reading unhelpful articles. Notes on file card in a word processing program or in some format that can be accessed easily or moved around to cluster with other notes on related research. With the prevalence of spreadsheet and database programs such as EndNote and Proceed on virtually every computer and standalone software package such as RefWork also available. Not talking and manipulation of data is significantly either that is was in either version of this text. Bibliography typical includes author, title, publisher year, issue and volume number, and on the universal resource locator or web address. The data you access an electronic resource source and other information depending on the type of source. Sure to indicate which part of the notes are thicker quotation from the author and which are you paraphrases. Use search online database keep the search strategy on file. Typical and given database will give the optional of printing out a search history. The list of results typed in along with the result. This information will help in the retrieval of information and reduce cost and time in case an update is needed. Thank you.